Welcome to today's episode of the What We're Watching podcast. I'm Megan.
And I'm Jenny, and today we're watching The Princess Diaries.
Yay! I'm just going to say it every time. You can actually watch The Princess Diaries on Hulu or Disney Plus right now, which I love when I'm like dying to watch a movie that I haven't seen in a long time, and I check on my TV and it's actually free and I can actually stream it in multiple places.
Absolutely. I've seen this movie 3 times this year.
I was going to say, I have seen it a few times, definitely. Because we watched it at my bachelorette party, which was Y2K themed. It was glorious.
It was so fun.
Yeah. That was the first time I had seen it in a while, though. When else did you watch it?
I think I watched it on the airplane soon after that because I was like, I was talking during the movie when we were watching it at your bachelorette. So I was like, I'm going to sit and actually watch the movie. And the third time, I was like, maybe I've seen this too many times this year. Maybe it's not going to feel as good or funny. No, it felt so good. This actually might be one of the best movies from this time.
I completely agree. I love this movie. It's perfect.
I think I like it more than any other movie that we've watched.
I think so too, except for Booksmart. Booksmart will always be my number one.
Yeah, I love all the movies that we've talked about, but there's only so many times you can rewatch something in a short period of time. And this one, just being able to watch it 3 times, and I'm not a rewatcher until we started this podcast, of course. But yeah, being able to watch it that much, that's like the measure of it being a good movie.
That is a good test. You're totally right. Okay, so as always, I'm going to read the little synopsis in case you, unlike us, have not been watching The Princess Diaries a lot over the last year. Shy San Francisco teenager Mia Thermopolis is thrown for a loop when she learns the astonishing news that she's a real-life princess. As the heir apparent to the crown of the small European Principality of Genovia, Mia begins a comical journey toward the throne when her grandmother, Queen Clarice Rinaldi, shows up to give her princess lessons. Watching this movie put me in such a good mood.
Yeah, me too. Did you watch this movie a lot growing up?
Yes, this was one of my favorites.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember watching this as a kid. It's funny, this movie gets better the more I watch it because I notice little things. Like, for example, at the beginning of the movie this time around, even though I've seen the movie 3 times this year, this was the first time I noticed that the limo with the Genovian flags goes by within the first 2 minutes of the movie.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yes, and they kept foreshadowing to different parts. I was like, wow, this is so good. This is based on the book by Meg Cabot. Have you read any of her books?
The name sounds really familiar. And also I'm realizing now that every movie is based on a book.
100%, yes.
It's where I feel like every movie that we've talked about so far almost has been based on a book. And most of them I had no idea, like this one.
Yeah. Meg Cabot was the queen of YA books.
That's young adult.
Yes. She was the queen of young adult books when I was little. But I don't think I read any of her books except for one of them. And it wasn't even The Princess Diaries. It was something else. But yeah, it was based on a book.
Cute. Directed by Gary Marshall and produced by Deborah Martin Chase.
Yeah, Gary Marshall did Pretty Woman.
I didn't know that. Wow.
And we'll probably talk about it later, but there's a lot of references to Pretty Woman throughout Princess Diaries. And then Deborah Martin Chase, who produced it, was the first Black woman to have earned a production deal at a major studio.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
That feels too recent to be true.
Yeah, she's done a lot of stuff. She's basically had a hand at discovering a lot of new talent because of doing things like The Princess Diaries. So she helped discover Anne Hathaway, but also Blake Lively because she did The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Cool.
And Olivia Rodrigo, too.
Wow. The Woman of the Month, really.
Yes, we love her new album.
Yeah. Do you want to tell the people your top 3 really quick? Your top 3 songs from the album?
Oh gosh, I need to remember the names. You go first.
Okay, my top 3 in no particular order are The Grudge, because I think it's about Taylor Swift. Get Him Back, because I love the double entendre meaning of I want to get him back, I want to get back at him, but also I want to get him back, I want to get back together with him. It's very cute. I just think she's such a good songwriter. And then my last one is Logical.
Okay, yes. My top 3 right now are Get Him Back, Vampire, and Lacey. Because I think Lacey is about Sabrina Carpenter, but you made a really good point earlier that it might be about Gracie Abrams. Curious to know. Yeah.
If you're interested in Taylor Swift deep dive content, one of my favorite podcasts is called What I Will Say. And they just did a deep dive on the whole album and who every song is about potentially on their Patreon. Did you like this album or Sour better?
Oh, I have a confession.
Oh.
Never listened to Sour.
Jeni! Oh my God, this is actually funny because I tie sour in my mind to our friendship so much.
Oh, really?
Yes, it came out like 2 years ago, probably. I just have a few like distinct memories of listening to it in the car on my way over to your house. And this was like 2021. It's like we weren't driving around, like we weren't going places really. I was also writing a script at that time about like an angsty teenage girl. And so like all of that together in my head just like is one complete memory. So I can't believe you never listened to the album.
That makes me so happy. Well, I've listened to like singles from it, of course, like all the like Deja Vu and Driver's License and all of that. But yeah, I wasn't like a big Olivia Rodrigo fan girl. Still am not. I'm slowly getting there through Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I was into Sabrina Carpenter, so it's slowly getting there.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I can now say like I've listened to all of Guts and I like it. I'll listen to Sour next.
Yay. Well, we'll do a follow-up. Now, this is probably my favorite part of every episode when we talk about all the people in it.
Yes.
Yay. Starting with none other than Anne Hathaway, who I feel like we bring up in every episode.
Almost every episode.
She's one of our girls.
Yeah.
Her, Taylor Swift. It's really just them.
Yeah, do we know anyone else? Maybe Reese Witherspoon and Renee Rapp.
Oh, Renee Rapp. Yeah, she's one of the girls.
Yeah, love Anne Hathaway. This was her big breakout movie role, and she was so good in it.
And she was young.
She was only 18.
That is wild. I think a lot of this cast was 16, 17, 18.
Blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my favorite things to talk about is who else was up for the role of all of our favorite movies.
Mm-hmm. This is always my favorite trivia that you know.
And it always seems to be the same answers. And I have to say, I don't have different answers for you this time either.
Wait, can I guess?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If it's people that we've maybe mentioned before, Reese Witherspoon?
Yes.
Wow. Wait, that would have been? Okay, I'll hold my thoughts. Blake Lively?
Maybe, but I didn't see that. No.
Okay.
Good guess, though.
Gwyneth Paltrow?
No.
Okay, I have one more strike.
Definitely a lot of people we've talked about.
Rachel McAdams? Ah, who? Okay, tell me.
Alicia Silverstone.
Wow.
Because I guess Alicia Silverstone and Reese Witherspoon were just like the it girls of this time. Like they were up for all of the same roles or auditioning for them, or I don't even know how far any of them got in this process. But yeah, Brittany Murphy.
Wow. Clueless Revisited.
Yep. Sarah Michelle Gellar, who we also talked about in our Clueless episode.
Mm-hmm.
And this one we mentioned for Legally Blonde, but Christina Applegate.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the same circle of people. I can't picture any of them over Anne Hathaway.
No, I can't picture any of them. And then did you find out how they picked Anne Hathaway?
No.
Because
how?
she hadn't done anything big. She
No.
she wasn't like all those other girls who auditioned yet in her career. I guess during her audition, she fell off of a chair accidentally, not on purpose, which is literally a scene that happens in Princess Diaries.
That's really funny. And I'm sure she was mortified when it happened too.
But it was perfect.
Yeah.
And then someone else, I don't know if it was someone related to Gary Marshall, I can't remember, but somebody else said she had princess hair. And so that's why they went with her. Another interesting tidbit while we're talking about who auditioned for this role or wanted to audition for this role, Christy Carlson Romano.
Oh, Ren Stevens, right?
Yes, Ren from Even Stevens. She is so bummed that she didn't get to audition for this role. She wanted to. She thought this would make her career take off, which she probably would have been right.
Yeah.
And so she was so excited. She really thought she would like get the part possibly. And then there was a scheduling conflict with Even Stevens, which was filming at the same time, and she had to miss the audition.
Oh.
But I guess she beat Anne Hathaway in some Broadway auditions.
Oh.
And she thinks that she has the same kind of look as Anne Hathaway. They've got the big brown eyes and the big smiles. And so she thought, like, maybe there's a good chance that she could have gotten that role.
Huh. I definitely think they have the same look. I can visualize her in the role more than anyone else. And I think it's just because of their physicality.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bummer. I bet everybody in Hollywood has those stories of like what they missed out on or like turned down even.
The role that got away.
I think that it happened with Matt Damon. I think he was originally cast or asked to do Avatar. And I don't know if he turned it down or had a scheduling conflict or what. But I heard him say in an interview once, I think it was on Armchair Expert, that was his biggest like whoopsie.
That's so funny because you just never know. And especially a Disney movie like this, how would you know it was going to be what it became?
Right.
So a little after Princess Diaries, Anne Hathaway had a little bit of a first-time scandal. She was dating this guy named Raffaello Folieri, and they dated for like 4 years.
Hmm.
He's kind of known as the Vatican Italian real estate developer.
Excuse me.
Not Vatican, Vatican.
Okay. That's a long time to date also. For
4
being like
years.
a teenager in Hollywood.
Yeah, I think she was probably like 20, early 20s, 22.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so what did he do? Why is he called that?
He started a company with a goal to purchase properties from the Catholic Church.
Huh.
And the Catholic Church was having financial trouble at that time because of scandals. So he claimed that he had this like close connection to the Vatican, which I'm not actually sure if that ended up being true or not.
Hmm.
But it allowed him to purchase church properties at low rates, or so he would say to investors. And he was apparently using investor money to live this huge, lavish lifestyle, go on trips with Anne, buy her gifts, and just be really extravagant.
Wow.
It's very Anna Delvey. That's what it reminds me of.
You're so right.
He was just a really good con man. And all of these people, I think there were even stories that were kind of like Anna Delvey's story that were like, he was supposed to pay a bill at dinner and then something didn't work, so someone else had to pay, and then there was a lawsuit over it. It was that kind of vibe.
I have never heard that before. Wow.
And in 2008, Anne Hathaway broke up with him after 4 years. And 10 days later, he got arrested.
Do you think she knew? She must have known.
Yeah, he says nowadays that this was like a business decision on her part.
Sure.
Because she never spoke to him again.
Wow.
And from something else that I heard from him, I don't know if this is true or not, but he said that they had a normal conversation on the phone. Like she said, I love you. It was normal and it wasn't like an actual breakup. And then he said that she never spoke to him again.
Whoa, she just ghosted him after 4 years of dating?
Yeah, and he went to jail. I don't know if that's true or not, but I thought that was interesting if it was true.
Interesting. I can't imagine her dating a con man. That is for a long time. That's wild.
He either was just a really good con man who swindled her and just swept her off her feet, or maybe she knew about it, but I don't think so.
You don't think so? But she dumped him right before he got arrested?
I'm sure they knew stuff was happening. I'm sure that wasn't the first news he was hearing of him being in hot water. But
Is he much older?
Only a couple years, actually.
Oh, interesting.
He was 25 at the time. Maybe he was 25 when they started dating. He was 30 when he got arrested.
Okay.
Yeah. So she was just a few years younger than that.
That's younger than I would have imagined. But wow. But I guess she's new to Hollywood and
By that point, she had done The Devil Wears Prada. She was really busy. She was doing a ton of stuff at this time. So they weren't always together.
Okay, yeah, so maybe this was a relationship that was maybe not super deep and intense, but it was ongoing for a long time and they were busy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, that's nuts. I had no idea.
It's very interesting. And I think that leads us into talking about the Hathahate, which is when the internet turned against Anne Hathaway and decided they didn't like her anymore.
Do you know why that happened? Can you tell me? Because I never understood this. This is good. You can educate me on this the same way you did with Jennifer Lawrence.
I had to do a deep dive because I actually didn't know why people stopped liking her. I just knew that they stopped liking her. From what I've gathered, it's because she has theater kid energy.
Okay.
She's too earnest in people's minds back then. Now the internet has turned around and they love her again and realize that this was just misogyny. So she did Les Mis and won an Oscar for it. And when she came up to give her speech, she said, "It came true." People just thought that was so fake.
Cringe.
And yeah, cringy. Her whole speech was kind of like that. She gave this speech kind of alluding to the fact that her playing a role like this could help other people not feel the way her character felt.
Interesting. She's doing God's work by being an actor in Hollywood?
Kind of. I don't think it came across pretentious like that, but more so too idealistic, if that makes sense.
It's giving naive try hard.
Try hard is something I heard many times when I was researching this.
Huh.
And I feel so bad for her because I think that night that she accepted that award too, she was in a dress she hated. It was a last minute decision that she had to be in that dress. And you could see her nipples through it. And she just wasn't comfortable. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong.
That sucks.
It does. But then it all came to a head when she hosted the Oscars with James Franco.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember it either, but now I've watched parts of it. It's horrendous.
Oh no, you understand.
I'll paint the picture for you.
Okay.
Anne Hathaway comes out. She's Anne Hathaway. She's bubbly. She's excited. This is like her dream come true. James Franco is giving nothing. I think he was on his phone.
Oh no.
He just looks like he rolled out of bed. He's just not even like trying. And this mismatched energy looked so bad on stage. It was just so cringy. The writing of their jokes wasn't good.
That is a really weird pair.
It was a weird pair. Apparently, she gave him a note or something when they were prepping for the Oscars, and he really got offended by it and then decided that she was a theater kid and he
was just gonna bomb it so that she bombed.
Yep.
That's evil.
Yeah. And I think her note was like, oh, maybe you could try it like this. It was something very mild. But if you watch it, you will be appalled and you will decide that you don't like James Franco either.
I will go home and watch it now. Yeah. Wow. Is this what everybody on TikTok means when they say it's giving millennial?
Oh my gosh.
Like, because I'm noticing it's her, it's Jennifer Lawrence. I'm seeing a lot of people compare Taylor Swift to Olivia Rodrigo in the sense that, like, Taylor Swift is trying. She tries hard. We know this. We love her for it. She tries hard. Whereas, like, Olivia Rodrigo has very, like, Gen Z vibes of just, like, I'm cool and I don't have to try. Or, like, because I'm not trying, she is cool. And she is. She is so cool. And, like, the whole obsession with authenticity from people on TikTok now, it's clicking to me. The bigger picture of that is clicking to me.
But then you think that, and Jennifer Lawrence was once loved for her authenticity. And then people decided that it wasn't real, that it was fake. Also, when you think about it, I don't know anything about Anne Hathaway's personal life besides what I just shared with you. I don't know what she's like as a person. I don't know what she's into. She has a very good girl, nice image and gives us nothing to work with. And so I think people were just like, she's fake. She's very buttoned up and very professional. And she really cares about portraying the right image.
Yeah, it gives try hard.
It does. Or it did. But then everyone came back to her side and realized how awesome she is and how talented she is. I'm so glad.
Yeah, I really like her. I'm a big fan of hers. So I'm happy that the internet doesn't hate her anymore.
Yeah. But interesting to dive into, nevertheless.
This movie also has Julie Andrews.
How did they get her?
I don't know. But she is so wonderful in this movie. This is probably a hot take, but this is my favorite of her roles because she just feels like I want her to be my grandma that's a queen.
She said in an interview that younger people come up to her and they say, oh my gosh, I loved you in Princess Diaries. Aww. And then older people come up to her and they're like, The Sound of Music.
The Sound of Music was iconic. I don't want to take away from that, but you've never seen it?
No.
Jeni. It's okay. I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
Wasn't she Mary Poppins as well?
She was. Yeah, that one was really good. I don't know. She's just a Disney girly.
Yeah, she was amazing in this. Beautiful, stunning.
Stunning.
I just want to be her when I grow up.
Yeah, agreed. That's all I could think the whole time. I'm like, I just am praying for her jawline that I don't even have now.
She's just so elegant, naturally.
That is the perfect word. Elegant.
Robert Schwartzman plays Michael, who I love. I love his character. He's just so cute. I am a Team Michael girl.
Same.
Not a team. What is Chris Evans' name in the second Princess Diaries?
Oh, not Chris Evans.
What's his name? Chris Pine.
Chris Pine.
What's Chris Pine's name in the second movie?
I don't know, but the guy that she ends up engaged to is Andrew.
Andrew.
And I'm a Team Andrew.
That's Chris Pine.
No.
Who the hell is...
Are you Team Chris Pine?
Wait, who's Chris Pine? She doesn't end up with him?
She does.
She ends up with Chris Pine?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one she really wants, but he's not the, like, steady Eddie.
Oh, the steady Eddie is the guy at the beginning that she doesn't really like that much.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So confused. I forgot about him. Poor steady Eddie. I'm talking about her love interests in 1 and 2. Some people are Team Michael. Some people are Team...
Oh, the first movie versus the second movie.
Yes.
Okay. Team Michael all the way.
Yeah, so I was Team Michael.
I thought he was so cool when I watched this movie the first time with his little M&Ms on the keyboard.
Yeah. And he's just so nice. And he noticed her when she was invisible. So I love that. But interesting things about him. I had never seen him since this movie. Did not know what happened to him. But I was wrong, actually, because he is in the band Rooney, and I'm not super familiar with this band. He's the lead singer, though.
Wow.
I love one of their hit songs, When Did Your Heart Go Missing? That is like one of my favorite songs and has been for many, many years.
Wow.
I'm someone who doesn't look into the band when I really like one song. It has to be several songs until I get invested.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the lead singer.
And you've been listening to Michael all this time.
This whole time, watched the music video, I was like, oh my gosh, are you serious? And I guess they were playing some Rooney songs in Princess Diaries too.
Oh, cute. So he was in the band the whole time.
Yeah, that's why he couldn't make Princess Diaries 2.
Oh, I always wondered that. I always wondered why he wasn't in the movie.
Yeah. Do you know Jason Schwartzman?
No, I don't think so.
So Robert Schwartzman is Jason Schwartzman's brother.
Mm-hmm.
Jason is in a ton of things. Like, anyone look him up if you don't know who that is, because I didn't know his name either. He was recently in Righteous Gemstones. He was in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Asteroid City recently.
Cool.
And also, I think, Grand Budapest Hotel. Anyway, that's his brother. And what I didn't know about either of these boys, guys, men, is that they're Coppolas.
What?
The
Excuse me?
famous family that does everything.
The Coppolas.
Yes, that we talked about in Legally Blonde.
Coppolas?
Coppolas, not sure.
Okay, so very interconnected. That makes more sense why both brothers are like a little bit in the movie TV business.
Yep, Nepo babies all the way.
Mm.
And also, didn't know this, he is Nick Cage's cousin.
What?
Michael in this movie is Nick Cage's cousin. Because Nick Cage is a Coppola.
What? I feel like I just found out that all of Hollywood is related.
You did.
You guys can't see this, but my mouth is like my jaw is on the floor, and it has been for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, this actor that I just haven't seen ever since this movie.
Yeah, I honestly assumed like, oh, this is a random actor who like did this movie and then decided not to do acting anymore or didn't get any other jobs and then went back to his regular life. Absolutely not.
No.
Is a working musician with a working actor brother and is a Coppola and Cage.
Yeah, crazy.
That's wild. Wow. Well, on the exact opposite flip side of this, Lily is played by Heather Matarazzo, and the internet, I learned today, thinks that she's related to Gaten Matarazzo, who plays Dustin in Stranger Things. She's not.
Oh, okay. I was wondering.
Yeah, myth busted.
That's really good to know.
Yeah, a lot of people, there's I think a lot of like false rumors online that that's either his mom or his cousin or something, but no.
Okay.
And I also hadn't seen her in a lot of stuff.
Mm-mm.
But she was in the Scream movies.
Okay.
And she's done a couple other things too. So she's still working. And I thought was funny, she is married to a woman named Heather Turman. And so they are both Heather, which gives Taylor Lautner.
Oh, wow.
I don't actually know if either one of them took the other name, but they have the same first name.
Cool.
Yeah.
The Heathers.
We also have Mandy Moore, of course.
I cannot believe she was only 16 in this movie.
That is wild.
I never looked like this at 16.
Mm-mm. Also, she's only, I think, 39 now, and Heather Matarazzo is 40, so that means that Lily was only 17.
Okay, well, I love that they cast actual teenagers to play teenagers.
Me too. I love when they do that. And Mandy is married to somebody named Taylor Goldsmith. If you follow her on Instagram, you'll have seen their like house renovation journey, and they have 2 kids now. It's like very cute. She like actually shares them. I think he's a musician, and they met through Instagram. I learned today because she, I think, posted a picture. Her friends, I think, had put a bunch of her favorite records on her wall or something where she then had a photo on Instagram that had one of his records in it. And then he reached out to her on Instagram.
Oh, he slid into the DMs.
Because she had posted one of his records.
Wow, that's really cute.
A modern love story.
Very modern.
But I know that their, I think, oldest of their 2 kids, his name is August, which I feel like is just the name of the decade right now.
Cute.
I feel like every influencer I follow on social media's kid's name is August.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
August slipped away. I wouldn't name my kid August because of that.
Same.
Caroline Goodall plays Mia's mom, Helen, who I loved. She was such a great character.
Mm-hmm. And then we have Sandra Oh.
Vice Principal Gupta.
And she just like exploded after this. She was in Grey's Anatomy, obviously as Christina Yang. We love her in Grey's Anatomy. She's also one of the leads in Killing Eve, which is like very critically acclaimed. I've only seen, I think, the first episode of Killing Eve.
Same.
I think we talked about it in one of our screenwriting classes. It's Sandra Oh and Jodie Comer are the 2 leads, and they're great in the show. And then she also is the star of what was one of my favorite, most short-lived shows, The Chair, which was a Netflix show that came out about Sandra Oh being the chair of a university. It starred Jay Duplass, I think, who's Mark Duplass's brother. He's like of the Duplass brothers. And the two of them, like their chemistry was so good and they were so good in the show and Netflix never renewed it and I'm mad.
It's only one season?
Yeah, I have a personal beef. But I think it does take place in the fall. I highly recommend. If you're looking for like a fall vibes, easy watch one season on Netflix, it's a good one.
Yeah, I've seen the pilot. It's very good.
Especially if like academia vibes are for you. Like if you want to feel like you're back in college, it's the one.
Oh, I love that. If you want to feel like you're back in college, but you relate to the adults, the faculty.
Okay, let's get into the movie.
Yeah, let's
It's about
do it.
time, right?
I'm so excited.
So they live in a refurbished firehouse in SF. And this was like my dream as a child, watching her slide down the pole and have a little tower to go up to.
Whoever was the set designer of this movie did an amazing job. There were just so many little details and their house was so cool.
The coolest. Completely unrealistic for this like single mother artist to live. Although she was married to a prince, so maybe she got some money.
Maybe.
Huh.
That whole story is a little confusing still, but
We let it slide.
yeah, we do.
So Lily and Mia scooter off to school. I always love seeing little like city kids go to school in movies and TV shows because I grew up in the suburbs.
And they're scootering up and down those San Francisco hills.
Oof.
Yeah.
And not electric scooters.
No.
Razor scooters, baby.
Mm-hmm.
We can tell immediately that she has a crush on the cool guy in school, Josh.
Yeah, because she's not cool about it at all. She's not cool in school. Somebody sat on me again.
Aw, you can tell she just feels like invisible.
Mia has this huge fear of public speaking. We know right away because as she's getting ready for school, her mom is trying to prep her. Don't look at any of them, just stare at the back wall, just get through it. And then we see in Mr. O'Connell's class, she's giving a speech on school uniforms, and she's on the negative side. But first, her crush Josh gives the affirmative side, and so he's not wearing his school uniform. And everyone just thinks he's so cool. And then you just get the immediate contrast of Mia just trying to say that school uniforms are a good equalizer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, but I had school uniforms in middle school.
I also did in middle school.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
For us, they weren't these cute schoolgirl outfits with the plaid skirts. I'm sure anyone who's had these is just angry at me right now because they're like, they're not cute. But mine were like, you just had to wear certain colors and like khaki pants
Oh,
or
okay.
black pants. And you had to have your shirt tucked in with a belt.
Mm-hmm.
How about you?
Mine was more like what was in the movie. We had plaid skirts. We had like two different types. I think we had like khaki skirts, khaki pants, plaid skirts, a couple different like polos with the school logo on them. I actually loved it. I am pro school uniform.
Why?
It was just so nice in middle school to nobody was judging each other's clothes. Like the extent of the judging was like, if you were cool, you like rolled your skirt a little bit to be a little shorter because it was like they were like knee length skirts, like pleated, and that was really all. And like it was fun because my friends and I would have like special shopping dates to like get clothes for our dress down day. I think like every other Friday or something we got to wear jeans or whatever we wanted. It was just nice. It just like was not a big like what people, I think it took a lot of the focus away from what people looked like. I actually do think that.
I could see that. I think that's what my school was trying to accomplish by our weird school uniforms. But the thing was, there wasn't like a standard that everyone had. So there were still the people who had the cool versions of everything. So as someone who just like did not understand fashion at all, still don't, I remember wearing like a blue sequin belt with a red polo shirt because I was trying to be cool. And it made me feel worse because I couldn't wear things that I felt
actually wanted.
Yeah, that I felt good in, that I thought were cute. I had to conform to this like weird, ugly uniform.
That's a weird in-between rule. I can see how that would just make it harder on everybody.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then, of course, as soon as I got to high school, they got rid of the uniforms for middle school.
Love it.
Cool.
So while she's giving this speech, I think it's Mandy Moore's character, and she's a cool girl. It's just like, oh my God, it looks like she's gonna hurl. And then she does throw up.
Yeah.
And it's very embarrassing.
Cover the tuba.
It was sad. And so after school, she goes rock climbing with her mom, which what a cool mother-daughter activity.
Yeah.
And she tells her mom about it, and her mom says, oh, I'll talk to Mr. O'Connell, which is important later. And she finds out that her grandma called. And we get the sense immediately that they're not close with Mia's grandma.
We find out that Mia has never talked to her grandma, which is weird.
It's really weird. Yeah, like we said, I think just like the whole storyline of the adults' backstory does not make sense to me.
Yeah, the only thing that makes the story make sense to me and makes it okay that the dad just totally abandoned Mia and never communicated with her except for birthday letters and gifts was that I think that he was trying to protect her.
Mm-hmm.
It's still weird because I feel like there could have been a lot of other ways to go about it.
Yeah, and it's weird that the grandma was never involved and then becomes really involved. Like that transition to me is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Because she makes a comment about how if, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but if Mia doesn't decide to come back and be the princess, then Genovia will cease to exist. And in the back of my head, I'm like, that was not important. How come she's waiting to show up until right now? It seems kind of weird.
Yeah. And we find out that Mia's dad just died like 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm. So I guess that's why. I guess that is the answer.
But still. After school the next day, Mia goes to meet her grandma at the Genovian consulate. And she's kind of a fish out of water here. She's not careful with anything. She's in her Doc Martens. She's so cute. And then Mia's grandma drops the bomb that her dad was the Prince of Genovia.
Mm-hmm. Making her the princess.
Shut up.
I beg your pardon? I love all the scenes between the two of them. All of the princess lessons and stuff are just like, it feels so nostalgic to watch it. I love it.
Yeah, because I always wanted to partake.
Mm-hmm.
They were so fun.
Totally.
So Mia does not accept that she's a princess. She says, I am very good at being invisible, and that's what I plan to keep doing.
Mm-hmm.
She runs out of the consulate.
And she confronts her mom, obviously, to say, why wouldn't you have told me this huge news? So they're in a fight.
Yeah, which valid, honestly.
Very. And so the next day, they basically have a family meeting between Queen Clarice, Mia's mom, Helen, and Mia, where Mia's mom convinces her to just give it a chance, to just like give it a few weeks, do the lessons with your grandma, spend some time with her while she's in town, and then make a decision.
After this big Genovian Independence Day ball that's going to happen, that's when she can make her decision.
And she agrees, which means it's on. So she's in full like undercover princess mode. She's doing princess lessons with her grandma after school. She's getting driven to school by Joe, who's her grandma's driver. We love Joe.
Love him. I also love in that scene where they're kind of having an agreement between Helen, Clarice, and Mia.
Mm-hmm.
I love that tower in her room. I think it's in her room.
Yep.
Where she has that like trap door, that sliding door with the happy face on it.
Mm-hmm.
I love their house so
Me too.
much.
I'm obsessed with the house. Is that a real house in San Francisco? And if so, has anyone ever found it on Zillow? And if so, can you send it to me at What We're Watching Pod on Instagram?
Just so we can pretend we can afford it.
Yeah. We find out Mia has a car that she refers to as her baby, which is a Mustang that Michael is helping her fix up.
Yes, we meet Michael and his band. He's got the piano and the M&Ms that you mentioned earlier. So cool. And you can tell that he likes her. He offers to work on her car for free. And I love that. Yeah,
it's very cute. He is, I don't remember if we mentioned this earlier, but he's Lily's older brother. And so he knows her very well. And they have this kind of funny dynamic, which I didn't have brothers, so I can't relate to this. And I was the oldest. But he's very like older brother and just has like seen her grow up, and you can tell they're close. So in one of Mia's princess lessons, she learns how to dance from Joe, which is so adorable.
The head bobbing.
Yeah. Did you ever learn to dance? Like, did anybody ever try to teach you like dance steps or anything?
I don't think so. How about you? Well, you were a cheerleader, so.
I grew up like doing recitals and stuff, but I learned as a senior in high school. I was dating my now husband, Brian. I came to his college like formal, and one of the older guys in his fraternity taught me how to swing dance.
Oh, cool.
And it was just trial by fire, because obviously I was fish out of water, terrified of being there, and was the youngest person. And then he was like, oh my God, it's not that hard. Let me teach you. And so then I am there in this like dance with, to me, all these like older, more mature people. And he was like teaching me all the steps. But so I know like 3 steps of swing dance, and that's all. So this was like funny to me to like see them have like formal lessons. It was cute. Mostly it was cute because then we see Joe and Clarice dance at the end, and you can tell there's something between them, and I love the two of them.
Apparently, the actor who plays Joe is the one who really had a hand in having those two characters get together, because he said it would be good for them to have something for the adults who watch the movie. So that wasn't originally in there, as far as I know.
Interesting. And he just had a crush on Julie Andrews, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I think he said that they both like were like, "Oh, you're cute."
Oh, that's cute. That's really cute. And then we get the iconic makeover.
This is the scene that you think of.
Yeah, this is my favorite scene. The feminism leaves my body when I watch this scene because, like, I hate that she's having to get a princess makeover. I'm sure as a curly girl, you don't love that either, right?
Yeah, I think, well, first of all, when he starts brushing her curly hair, especially from top to bottom, I'm like, Paolo, don't you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Because you don't do that. You're just going to make it frizzier too. But yeah, it always made me think like, oh, okay. So straight hair equals pretty and curly hair equals bad.
For me, it was the eyebrows because I always had thick eyebrows and I got teased for having thick eyebrows by boys in school. And so him like talking about her eyebrows and that was my version of that, I think.
I'll name this one Frida and this one Carlo.
Yeah. It's like, how rude.
What a good scene though.
Yeah. And the makeover does not have the reception that I think she assumed it would, especially from Lily. And this is really sad because Lily just totally trashes the makeover.
For the entire car ride to school, she's harassing Mia about her hair and about how she's just trying to be like the A crowd. It's so sad. And Mia's crying. And Lily is a jerk, honestly.
Yeah, Lily is not nice.
She's not a great friend.
No. It's giving Janician, like the contrarian. Yeah.
Although I will say something I respect about Lily is the amount of butterfly clips I saw in her hair. There were a lot of butterfly clips in this entire movie.
100%.
Mandy Moore too.
Yeah.
So Mia tells her the truth about being a princess and swears her to secrecy. And then I think Lily calms down a little bit because then she finally understands what's going on.
It took me until that moment because I also thought Lily was being such a jerk. And then when I realized that she had no idea that Mia was a princess, I was like, okay. I could see her perspective a little bit better after I realized that she had no idea what was going on. Because like if your rich grandma comes in town and suddenly you have a driver and you're like dressing different and you have like a fancy bag and you got a makeover to look like the popular girls in school, I would also be freaked out.
Yeah, hopefully not as mean, but yeah.
Yeah.
Freaked out for sure. And then the people at school are so mean about her transformation too.
Yeah, it's weird.
She's not accepted right away just because she fits in.
Mm-mm.
The public really quickly learns that Mia is a princess, and Lily is not the one who told. It was actually Paolo, but the paparazzi are swarming the school. The mean girls start acting like they're best friends with Mia. Do you know what I don't understand too? I think in this part, there's like a news person who's talking about Mia and who she is, and he says something like she lives with her mom in this area of San Francisco in a refurbished firehouse. And I'm like, why is he saying that on the news?
Yeah, just giving away her location.
Yeah, everyone knows her house now. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't love that. So Mia's having a day because there's been paparazzi everywhere. She's had to explain this to people. Everybody at school knows. It's just very chaotic. So her and Lily have kind of a timeout out behind the school.
They're walking on these bleachers. It's raining. And Lily is just giving her all of the reasons why she shouldn't be a princess.
Why it's stupid and dumb and she doesn't need it.
And Mia falls. And it's the funniest scene ever.
I'm guessing that was an accident in real life.
Yeah. So Robert goes, because he was watching this with me, parts of it at least. He goes, oh, that was totally on accident. And they just kept that in. And I was like, no. And apparently this is common knowledge for anyone who knows Princess Diaries trivia, but not me. So I looked it up. And yeah, she just fell. And Gary Marshall thought it was really endearing and cute. And she kept going with her lines like a professional.
I noticed that this time watching it. She fell. Then Lily is giving reasons. And she's like, number 3. What was number 3? Go ahead.
Yeah.
And then they cut and you can see like where they like flip to another, like the next take probably.
And I guess like Anne Hathaway completely forgot that she fell during this part because I'm sure they took a ton of different takes. So she didn't know they were going to keep this one.
Right. I'm sure she thought they wouldn't. But it is endearing. And I love knowing that, especially because she fell in her audition.
Yeah.
It's cute.
And what's nice about it too is that it's like this really intense moment with her and Lily is being so mean to her and then they both giggle.
Yeah.
And then they continue and that's really nice.
Yeah, it gives some softness to the like kind of argument they're having. And then we see a scheduling conflict forming because Lily asks Mia to come on her cable show Saturday night, Michael also, like right after this, asks Mia to come to his band rehearsal, and she's blinded by her little budding crush of Michael. So she's like, yeah, definitely, I will be there. And she has also already committed to Lily that she'll come on her cable show. Josh, the popular guy, is now into her and asks her to go to the beach party on Saturday night, which is the third piece of the time conflict.
So then Mia has her first, like, big royal commitment. It's this fancy dinner with a bunch of important people.
It is interesting to me that Genovia is hosting all of these events from San Francisco.
Yeah, excuse me? Love Mia's dress in this scene, though.
I do too.
Obsessed.
I love this outfit. I love the color. It's no notes.
Obsessed.
Yep.
And she's just a klutz the entire time.
She's totally stepping in it. She does not know dinner etiquette, which, by the way, I don't know dinner etiquette either. Did you take cotillion?
No.
Was that a thing where you lived?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm from the South, and we had something called cotillion, which was where you could go to classes. I think it was in high school for like a year, where you would learn to dance and you would learn etiquette for like sitting at the table and how to eat properly and all that stuff. I was completely uninterested. I did not go, so I never signed up. But a lot of people in my grade did.
Well, I don't blame you for not being interested.
Yeah. Well, sometimes me and Brian are like work events, and I'm like, it would be nice for me to know what I'm supposed to do right now.
I would like to know which fork to use for this, please.
Exactly.
Why do I have 12 of them? Yeah, she's just being really clumsy throughout this whole scene. She lights someone on fire, someone trips on her. And actually, because Gary Marshall also directed Pretty Woman, he has a lot of Pretty Woman references, especially in this scene. In both films, the leading actress has a scene where she accidentally breaks a wine glass.
Oh.
I didn't know that. I'm not super well versed in Pretty Woman.
No,
I've seen it
I've never
once.
seen it actually.
I've seen maybe just parts of it, honestly. And in both films, the waiter who cleans it up is played by the same person.
Oh, that's cute.
If you remember, in the Princess Diaries, she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And the waiter goes, it happens all the time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, because it happened in the other movie.
Because it happened in Pretty Woman, and he cleaned up after it.
That's really cute. That's such a cute callback.
Yes, and then apparently there was a cut scene from Pretty Woman in the film's blooper reel where Julia Roberts accidentally ate a mouthful of palate cleansing sorbet.
Oh.
And she didn't realize that it was really cold. And so Marshall put that in to the Princess Diaries.
I love that part of the scene. It's really cute.
I love that the couple next to her starts doing it too.
Yeah.
So funny.
It's so cute.
So even though Mia really messed up this dinner, Clarice actually isn't mad at all. She says it reminds her of her when she was younger. Then they go out together to spend quality time. They cancel the princess lessons, and Mia shows her around San Francisco.
This is probably my other favorite scene. I love their little quality time date around San Francisco. It's so cute. It's the first time that Clarice is coming into Mia's world instead of the other way around.
Yeah.
And it just feels like a girl and her grandma hanging out. It's really cute.
Yeah.
They get corn dogs with mustard and they play in the arcade. And then they crash her car.
Into like a trolley or a bus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is very bonding for them. And they end up getting out of it thanks to Clarice.
What does she do? She like knights the two guys, or bestows upon them the Genovian rose.
Yes, I think she does. Yeah, I think she like knights the bus driver and the cop or something.
Yeah.
And so that they don't take Mia downtown. So at school, Mia is getting super popular. Like everybody, we see more clips of the cool girls talking to the paparazzi and saying how they've known each other their whole life, blah, blah, blah.
There's these two cute little girls that she gives autographs to. Those are actually Gary Marshall's granddaughters, and he said that he took on this film because of them. And
Cute.
they play actual characters, I think, in Princess Diaries too.
Ooh, like are they some of the princesses maybe?
The young ones, yeah.
Cute.
The actress who plays Charlotte
Mm-hmm.
is Gary Marshall's daughter.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. She's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
But Nepo Baby Central here.
I know, we love them.
Lucky.
Okay, so Mia is preparing to go to the beach party with Josh. She tells Michael she can't come to his band gig. She's completely forgotten that she's supposed to go on Lily's cable show. And she's understandably very concerned about what she's going to wear and if she's going to kiss Josh.
She has this cute conversation with her mom about how when she has her first kiss, she hopes her foot pops. And her mom is like, what do you mean? And she's like, you see them in movies and they're kissing and then their foot just kind of pops.
Yeah, that's
Which
one of my
is so
favorite
cute.
lines. It's so cute.
Lily and Jeremiah are on the talk show, Shut Up and Listen, and they're waiting for Mia, and they're buying time by having Jeremiah do magic tricks.
Mm-hmm.
Little do they know, she's not going to show up.
We see her and Josh having a great time at the beach party. They're on the boat. They're on the beach. It's actually very cute. I love their outfits also. I always remembered those. And then the paparazzi shows up. They found out that she was going to be there, and like a helicopter comes down. It's like wild. And Josh grabs her and kisses her in front of the cameras.
What a jerk.
Yeah, it really sucks.
Not to mention him wanting her to rub his feet.
Yeah, he's gross.
I hate him.
I hate him.
And I will say, something I noticed this time around watching it, her foot pops when she's kissing him, when he's kissing her, I should say, in front of the paparazzi, but only so that she can grab her shoe and throw it. Like hit him with it.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
I was thinking of when it gets stuck in the net.
Yeah, that time too. But this time it's like, yeah, her foot popped, but it was so that she could grab her shoe and beat him.
You're totally right. And then like a really sad kind of dark part happens where she's changing. And the girls kind of like, some of the like popular girls are like acting like they're helping her. Like they're like, Mia, come here, here you can change.
Yeah, they like get the paparazzi and then they pull the tent off of her.
Yeah, it's very sad. They're trying to like expose Mia in her towel, and it's just so
she's
mean.
changing.
Yeah.
Terrible. The photographs of her in her towel and also kissing Josh are in the newspaper the next day.
Clarice is disappointed. She tells her that she's not like acting like a princess, obviously. And that conversation ends in Mia saying that she wasn't going to be princess anymore.
Yep. There's a cute moment, though, where Jo reminds Clarice that Mia is a teenager and that maybe she doesn't have all of the facts and that she was pretty harsh on her.
Yeah, it's a really nice moment where Clarice is reminded that that's also her granddaughter and not just like somebody she's training to take over her job, you know? And then she tells Lily the news. So she tells Lily that she has decided to give up the throne, and Lily kind of changes her mind and does the thing that I think this probably happens between friends a lot. Like when somebody finally cops to something, they're like, no, that's not what I really wanted. You should do it.
Yeah.
And so that's what happens. And Lily tells her that she should be princess.
Yeah, it's really sweet. She's like, but I wanted you to be. But even though Lily kind of sucked this whole movie.
She comes around. I like her in the second movie a lot too.
Is she in the second one? I forgot.
Yeah.
So Mia invites Lily to the ball, and she also invites Michael to the ball later, but he declines because he's still heartbroken over her not choosing to hang out with him.
The next day at school, we get another one of the most iconic scenes from the entire movie where Mia shoves an ice cream cone into Lana's shirt.
Into her like white cheerleading uniform.
Yeah.
And everyone just starts yelling, Lana got coned! Lana got coned! Even the teachers are laughing.
Yeah.
Even Mr. O'Connell is laughing. And Mr. O'Connell is now dating Mia's mom, which was like a point of contention for like 2 seconds, and then we moved on from it. But I love him. He's great.
Me too. I love them together. I think it's really, really cute.
Clarice comes by and she apologizes to Mia for scolding her. And then she tells Mia that she has to publicly renounce the throne at the ball if she's going to do that. And
which is like Mia's worst nightmare.
Worst nightmare. Terrified. So she's like, okay, my mom's actually going to drive me. And she makes her escape plan.
Did you ever run away?
No, did you?
No.
Okay. It's a very common trope in these kind of movies. But I'm like, where would I have gone? So she plans to run away. Until she discovers a birthday letter from her father that he had written before he passed away. This letter changes her mind because it tells her to have courage.
She leaves the house to get to the ball, and it starts pouring rain while she's in her convertible car. And she gets totally stranded, and she just thinks, I'm never going to make it.
Her car breaks down. Terrible. Though we do see a very cute scene where Michael gets a pizza delivered to him. He opens it up. It's a pizza with M&Ms on it that spell out sorry. Iconic.
I've always wanted to do that. Not as an
too.
apology, but just like with a message on it. I think it'd be so cute. I'm sure no pizza place would agree to do that.
No. And when I thought about it, I was like, the M&Ms are going to melt a little bit, and that's pretty gross, actually.
Very gross.
But still cute because they had talked about that earlier.
Jo to the rescue once again.
We love the guy.
Jo finds Mia. He brings her to the ball. She just like defies all odds in this moment, I feel like, because she's soaking wet. She's in her, like, I can picture her outfit perfectly, in her, like, jeans and her zip up. And she walks right up to the podium and she changes her mind publicly in front of everybody and gives a speech about how she is going to become princess, which surprises everyone there.
She does a great job with her speech.
And we see that Lily is there.
Yes.
No Michael.
And Helen is very proud. Clarice is obviously very proud. And Paolo shows up and gives her one last makeover. So he does her hair. She changes into a gown and she's ready.
She comes back down to the ball. And it's like, you can tell it's like time for dancing to start. And who does she see?
She sees Michael through the crowd and he showed up.
And he looks so cute.
He's so cute. And then they dance. It's adorable. And also, Joe and Clarice dance too, which is just so sweet.
Mm-hmm. And so after they dance, they walk out to the courtyard and it's beautiful. And they have just like a very sweet moment where Michael asks, like, why me? Because he obviously has recently been rejected and he's confused and doesn't really know where he stands. And she says, because you saw me when I was invisible.
He
so
did.
Cute.
He did. That's why I'm Team Michael.
Yeah.
They have their first kiss.
A foot poppin' kiss.
And her foot pops and she hits a switch and all of these beautiful lights come on. It's perfect.
It's very cute. And that's kind of the resolution of the story until we get this last scene that you can tell takes place a little bit later, where Mia is all princessed. She's on the plane to Genovia, writing in her diary with Fat Louie. And in her diary, she writes that her and her mom are moving to Genovia and Lily and Michael are going to come visit. And you can tell she's just so, like, happy with her decision. And she feels so much more grown up in this scene, don't you think?
Yeah. Although I'm upset about one thing.
What?
They're moving to Genovia and getting rid of the firehouse.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Sad. No. And, like, what's going on with Mr. O'Connell? I mean, obviously he's in the next movie, so we know what happens, but...
What's Helen even gonna do? Because this is not her world.
Mm-mm.
She's an artist. She loves her life. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
What did you think of the ending?
I liked it. Something that I'm just noticing about these movies from 2000s, 2010s is just they wrap everything up nicely.
Yes, totally.
And that's what I want. I want to leave the movie feeling so satisfied and not wondering if there's going to be a part 2 or how many years do I have to wait for the next part of this movie to come out to resolve all these things.
Yeah.
You know?
They're not complicated either.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like movies nowadays are so complicated, and this is just nice and simple.
Yep.
And well done.
Loved it.
So obviously there was a Princess Diaries 2.
Just as good in my opinion. I love
Really?
Princess Diaries 2. Is this another sequel that you haven't seen?
I've seen it, but I can't remember it very well.
Yeah.
I've seen parts of it. And I'm sure I watched the whole thing many times, but it just doesn't stick with me like this one does. So I'd be interested to try it again.
Maybe one day we'll do a month of sequels.
Oh, fun. We'll see how they hold up. And then have you heard rumors of a Princess Diaries 3?
No.
There have been a lot of cast conversations about it. Everyone seems like they're on board to do a Princess Diaries 3. But then there was a point like last year or 2 years ago that Julie Andrews was like, yeah, at one time we wanted to do one, but I'm old now. Like, we kind of missed this opportunity. But in November 2022, I think it's been confirmed that they are writing a script for it right now.
Wow.
And Anne Hathaway is very hush-hush about it. Like, there's an interview of her kind of giving a roundabout answer to somebody.
Interesting.
So I'm not 100% sure if it's going to happen and what's going to happen with it, but
I hope it does.
Sounds like they're working on it.
That would be so great.
I would love that.
This was our last back to school season episode. Thank you guys for listening.
It was so fun to watch all of these back to school movies, but I am very excited to get into Halloween movies.
Me too.
I'm ready.
Me too. I'm ready. I was mourning summer and then the weather in Denver changed and it just feels like fall outside and I am in the mood.
Yeah, and actually I think watching these movies helped me transition out of summer. Because
agreed.
in my mindset I was like, okay, now we're in back to school time. It's starting to be fall. I think it's so healthy to do that. I'm ready. I'm loving it.
Agreed. If you guys want even more fun facts from us and if you want to interact with us and get some pop culture updates, follow us on Instagram at What We're Watching Pod and on TikTok at What We're Watching Pod. We try to post like little daily pop culture tidbits, nothing annoying, just like little updates for you. And sometimes we come with extra fun facts that we don't mention in the episodes.
Usually the things we forgot to mention in the episode.
True.
It's a fun time over there.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, please consider leaving us a 5-star rating and review. We would really, really appreciate it. Come back next week for a nice Halloween episode.
Yay! Bye.
Bye.